Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back friend, mentor, and the founding president of the Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame, Gina Clonan.
Good evening. The Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame is awash with the firelight of history, honoring the women who for centuries have made it, our contemporaries who are blazing new trails, and our young girls who are on fire. This is a particularly luminous year for women, for as we have witnessed, for the first time in history, a woman has been selected to be a major party's nominee for President of the United States. It happened 168 years after the first Women's Rights Convention in Seneca Falls, 150 years after Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton organized an organization dedicated to suffrage, 144 years after Anthony was convicted for voting, and 96 years after the ratification of the 19th Amendment barring gender discrimination at the polls. It is for this and these milestones that I ask every woman in this audience, regardless of how you feel about the process, the contentious race, or the tiring media maelstrom, exercise your right to vote next week and encourage others to do so. You may just make history. Women's rights are human rights, and as you can see by the steady stream of remarkable honorees this evening, those rights are often denied, not only in healthcare and in wellness, but across a range of fields and social constructs. This evening, we dedicate the Founding President's Award. We also know that it takes a village, and there's no better example than this evening's recipient of that. This award is a symbol of the Hall's effort to reach out to nonprofits who continue the work of advancing the rights and dignities of women and children. There can be no better example of advocacy, action, and awareness than the Connecticut Women's Consortium. Please welcome its Executive Director, Colette Anderson.
Thank you. It is with great pride that I accept the 2016 Founding President's Award on behalf of the Connecticut Women's Consortium. I had the pleasure of meeting Gina, and we had learned why she had chosen to have an award that recognizes a Connecticut nonprofit working to educate and empower women. Joining me today to accept this award is the Connecticut Women's Consortium staff and board of directors. That's out in that corner there. Without their effort, energy, and talent, our important work could not be accomplished. The Connecticut Women's Consortium is a nonprofit that educates Connecticut's mental health, addiction, homelessness, and criminal justice agencies. The consortium trains 5,300 behavioral health professionals each year and helps organize and improve organizations throughout the state. We want to ensure that the State Department, nonprofits, social services, clinicians, and for-profit behavioral health agencies respond to the needs of women throughout their work. Through our network and partnership, we reach women, mothers, and children struggling with mental illness and addiction. An integral part of what the Connecticut Women's Consortium does is to teach trauma-informed, gender-responsive care as a best practice. Gender-responsive care is programming simply promoting practices that reflect the reality of women's lives. For example, given the option to discuss sexual assault with a woman or a man, offering space or childcare for mothers, providing women's products at a homeless shelter. Trauma-informed care considers someone dealing with traumatic stress and looks at the policies minimizing triggers, enhancing safety, and emphasizing a welcoming environment. The Connecticut Women's Consortium trains anyone with an interest in understanding gender and trauma and behavioral health. The Connecticut Women's Consortium provides over 100 trainings a year, including models that treat trauma in our biannual training catalog. This year, after the success of our National Adult and Juvenile Female Offender Conference, we are helping organizations provide large events such as the Opiate Epidemic Symposium in November, Holistic Healing and Recovery through Integrated Medicine Conference in December, Medicaid-Assisted Treatment Conference in the spring, and the Covington Curriculum Conference in the summer. To help women with trauma that has occurred in their lives, we have brought trauma treatment models to the community and the prisons. For support, we provide the widely circulated quarterly Trauma Matters newsletter featuring local and national experts and the Trauma and Gender Toolkit to help transform agency practices. The Connecticut Women's Consortium connects organization and resources. We bring in both local and national experts to train providers, individuals in recovery, and agencies who are interested in a higher level of care. We partner with Yale University to develop leadership skills in women working in behavioral health field, and we lead and organize state initiatives and programs that maintain trauma-informed and gender-responsive practices, such as the Women's Services Practice Improvement Collaborative, which works with women residential programs, the Trauma and Gender Initiative, and the Criminal Justice Trauma and Gender Initiative. We have recently partnered with the March of Dimes to improve birth outcomes and promote women's health through the Every Woman Connecticut initiative. All of our staff and board of directors envision a behavioral health system which serves women to be accessible, effective, practice holistic, trauma-informed, and gender-responsive care. To achieve this vision, we strive to eliminate discrimination and to promote excellence in the care for women. Thank you.